good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's Monday, it's match day. Our first game of the season is tonight, and I'm ready for it. We're joined, as always, on a Monday now by Jimbo, Nicholas, and Mr. Chang. Jimbo, first of all, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good.
Mr. Nicholas, how are you doing? All ready for the game today?
I'm all ready. I've even, like I showed you before, I have got blue shorts on, but they are chinos. They are not thingy. And I've got white socks, so I look like a bit of a full kit. What's it? So
Wanker.
I'm ready, and I'm pumped, and we're going to win today. Because I'm not going to another away game that we lose. So
if we lose today, Nick, you're banned from ever going to another away game because we should be winning this tonight. Yeah. So be warned. And Mr. Cheng, how the devil are you and the family?
I'm doing very well. The family themselves are doing very well. And I simply cannot wait for kickoff, which I think by my reckoning is 8 hours from now at 8 p.m. UK time. So bring on Leicester City and let's get into today's show without further ado.
Yeah, 8 hours time. Although Jimbo and I are joining Jacob tonight and we are Tottenham TV for the pump up. So we will be on from 6:30. Ooh. But let's have a look before we start who's in the chat. We've got Mr. Benji. Big up Ben. Says time for a chill show. Yes. No, it should be quite chill today. AJ's in the house. Says big up Kate, Jim, Nicholas, and of course the Chang man. Happy Monday, much love. Big up AJ. Always good to see you. Morning, Graham from Spurs GCTV. Hope you're well. Ben's telling you, Nick, to get on your bike to go to Leicester. It is a long journey.
I'm not cycling to Leicester.
I thought you was going to say I'm not a psychopath then.
Well, I am a psychopath. I think we're all a little bit psychopathic on certain
you have to.
It just depends on how far we take it. If we actually go through with it, or we just stop at certain point.
Exactly. You've got to be a bit psychotic to support Spurs, I think. Big up to you, Chrysandro says, can't wait for tonight's game. Well up for it. Come on, you Spurs. Aaron says, massive big up, guys. I'm really looking forward to tonight's game. I'm going early with a prediction. I reckon we will win 3-1.
So do I.
Paul Pablo says, hi, the happy clappers. Good afternoon to Paul G. Hope you're well. Good to see you. Well, I suppose the one place we should start is, if I can open my thing, the first game of the weekend, Man United scraping by the skin of their teeth a 1-0 win against Fulham. Nick, did you watch the game?
I watched the game until about 60 minutes when I fell asleep, and then I woke up and saw the result. So basically, that just tells you how good the game was. So we can move on to the next. I started watching it, and I was thinking that Fulham, Man United had chances, and it was kind of similar to kind of their chances. They couldn't take them. Obviously, Bruno should have probably scored at least one. And Fulham, I think. Away from home, I think they'll struggle, but I think they'll be really tough at home. We predicted, I can't remember what I predicted, 3-0 maybe, 4-0, I can't even remember now.
You predicted 3-1.
Oh, 3-1, okay, cool. So, yeah, I got the result, but not the scoreline. So, I think it was just Man United have got so many new signings. They look disjointed. But again, 3 points is 3 points. You can play amazing. We can play amazing tonight, win 3 or 4-0. Everyone will lose their minds and go, oh, we're top of the league, blah, 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 and everything else. But, I guess I wouldn't rather play badly, but I'd rather start badly, get 3 points, and then improve game on game, I think. And I think Man United will do that.
Yeah. Chang, did you watch the game?
I managed to catch about, I think, the last 10 minutes or so of the game as I just woke up close to 5 a.m. On a Saturday morning, getting ready for work. And I was fortunate enough to watch the winner by Xerxes, if memory serves me right, somewhere in the 86, 87 minute, I think. And I did watch a bit of the full-time highlights when you were showing the action from the first and second half. And just judging from those highlights I was looking through after full time, I would say that actually Fulham had the better of the chances where they were looking to hit United on a. And there were a couple of occasions where they were actually leading on a breakaway, but unfortunately for them, the final pass that would set up a great opening, or rather a great opportunity, was lacking. So in the end, I think it was the home crowd really played its part in getting the Red Devils over the line. And this is, although it is fortuitous in some aspects, the way how United scraped a win, but a win is a win for them. 3 points in the bag as well as a clean sheet for them. It's going to boost their confidence. Although for the long run, I don't think it's going to be sustainable, not against better opposition. So if United are to stand any chance of making it to the top 4 or even the top 5 this season, they really have to improve massively on their home form.
Yeah, I agree. I certainly didn't see anything that scared me with Manchester United, but it is the first game of the season. Jimbo, what do you make of the game? What you saw?
Boring. It's just boring, wasn't it? I mean, I didn't concentrate on it. I had it on, I switched it off half time. It was just boring. Yeah. I don't want me to say anymore.
No, you've summed it up really. But Nick predicted 3-1, so got a point. I predicted 3-1, so got a point. Chang predicted 2-1 and got a point. And Jimbo predicted 2-2 and got nil points.
Yes. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah, unlucky Jimbo. Big up 710. Hope you're well. It really was a poor quality game. Also, massive big up to Paul G, who's been a member for 5 months, and Spurs GCTV been a member for 6 months. Then we had. Go on, Jim. What was
I was going to say, don't forget, you got to tell them about the draw. I'm just reminding you.
Yeah, the draw for the members' draw is going to be this Friday. I completely forgot last Friday. And so this Friday is going to be the draw to win that signed picture by 9 Spurs legends. So I'll do it live on the show on Friday. I thought Nick was going to put a hat on then.
So did I.
I can do.
Hey, the man from Del Monte.
He looked like Woody.
Who are you? So Peep, Jim. The messages you were sending me this morning, asking me if I was awake and calling me babe.
Yeah, there's something definitely fishy going on there. I don't know what to make of it. Big up to Spurs GCTV saying he's buzzing more than an Ann Summers catalogue. And Shemtan's been a member for 5 months, and big up GBC. This game, I actually think Ipswich for the first part of this game looked brilliant. Really unlucky to have not scored. And I was looking at it thinking Liverpool ain't doing nothing this season. And then just like a flick of a switch, they turned it on. And the rest is history. Nick, did you watch it?
No, I was at cricket watching over another Notty Green win. Look, I think it just goes to show the good teams will always do what needs to be done. They obviously went in at half time, had a bit of a rocket up their bum, and the rest is, like you said, the rest is kind of history. And they just professionally finished the game off. They didn't need to go crazy. Jota's obviously carried on his pre-season form, and Salah, I think it's like 10 first games in a row where he hasn't blanked out in FBL. So I think, and I think, McKenna, when he came out, was honest and open as well. And he said, we're under no illusions. We know it's going to be tough. It's just whether they find their feet quick enough. I mean, it could be another, Ipswich could be very similar to how Luton started. They didn't kind of pick it up, and then they, at home, against the other team, obviously against the top 6, 7, 8 teams, they're going to struggle. But against the rest, I don't see how they, where they will struggle, because by that point they would have got into their stride. They would have understood what needs to happen. They can't play the same way they would have played in the Championship. But yeah, Liverpool, Brentford next week at home. I mean, it should be 6 out of 6. for them. So yeah, they're going to cut there. I think they're going to go under the radar, like I said a little bit.
Yeah.
No one's expecting anything. They haven't really signed anyone or signed anyone even. So I think the kind of focus is, but there's a lot of their team have got a lot to prove this season. You know, Trent, Van Dijk, Salah, Jota was injured. You know, they didn't have great seasons last season. So, you know, they've got a point to prove as well.
Yeah, I agree. Chang, did you see any of it? What did you make of it?
I was able to watch the first half in its entirety because I think it was a very early kickoff. It was a noon kickoff on Saturday. And I think my daughter asked me the single most interesting question of the evening when she saw this team for the first time in the Premier League. And she asked me, how do I pronounce this team's name? Is it Ipswich, Ipswich? And I was like, whoa. All right, you got to pronounce it like Norwich. So, okay, Ipswich is it. And I thought the chances were pretty even for both teams. The stats were pretty even as well. And Ipswich were good for a draw going into, the break. But when I resumed watching it, sometime past the hour mark after I put both my daughters to bed, as it was past the bedtime when the second half kicked off. The moment I turned the telly back on, it's already 2-0. Salah with an assist and a goal inside 4 or 5 minutes, just past the hour mark. And it was just, service resumed as normal for the Reds. First win as well, I think, for Arne Slot. With the Reds in the Premier League, and they're off to a flyer, even without Jurgen Klopp at the helm. I thought I did watch the goals from Jota and Salah. Good goals, well-taken goals, especially the Salah goal, which he created all by himself. And yeah, I think Ipswich were actually, I wouldn't say they were the more dominant side of the first half, but they were at least holding their own. They at least did themselves proud, being back in the Premier League for 21 years, I think, since the last time Brazil won the World Cup. I think that's how long it's been since they've been back in the top flight. So as you rightly mentioned earlier, Miss Kate, I think they would more than be a match for the rest of the Premier League. It's just unfortunate for them that their opening match of the season at home would be against the one of the contenders for the Premier League title this season. So I think Ipswich should do well for the remainder of the season, and Liverpool themselves, well, they got the results when it mattered, and another clean sheet for them. And for them, it's going to be onwards and upwards with a new manager.
Yeah, I agree. Yusuf said you can only judge Ipswich against the likes of Forest, Bournemouth, Leicester, and those sort of teams. Yeah, exactly. They're going to be the ones that are fighting, you would think, fighting to stay up. Jimbo, anything to add on the game?
Yeah, I mean, they could have been a couple of goals up Ipswich in the first half.
Jimbo is having a row with the dogs. He's staring them out. Every time he goes to talk, this is what happens. While he's doing that, I'm going to say Jimbo predicted 3-1, so got a point. Chang predicted 3-1, got a point. I said 4-2, got a point. Nick said 3-0. So we all got a point, but none of us got the score right.
So close. So
close. But Jimbo got his first points on the ball. Oh my God, the dogs are going mad. Next up, I'm going to move on. And if Jim wants to go back to it, he can. Arsenal Wolves.
I'm back.
Oh my God, now the cat's woke up behind me. You can hear my sister going mad. Arsenal Wolves, 2-0. Obviously, Havertz was assisted by Saka. Then Saka was assisted by Havertz. So I couldn't help but think of the whole Sonny Kane thing when I saw that come up, because that used to be 66-1 for that to happen, for Son to assist Kane and Kane to assist Son. So, but they've got off to a flying start, as kind of, I think, we all did predict them to win. Jim, are you safe to talk?
Yeah, I was going to say on the Ipswich game, that it could have been a couple of goals up first half. They played really well. But they seem to run out of steam. And I think it's going to take them 5 or 6 games to get into the Premiership. So let's just hope they pick some points up.
Yeah,
or they get their legs up in the because the Premiership is definitely a lot faster. But anyway, the Arsenal game, yeah, I mean, not much you can say, is there? They done what they do, you know. They haven't. Wolves haven't won there since I think for 18 games or something ridiculous. So it was odds on it was going to carry on. So yeah, they looked all right, Arsenal.
Yeah, I do agree with this. Yeah, I agree with that. But they did what they have to do.
Yeah.
In the first game of the season, all you want is those 3 points, and they got them.
Yeah.
But Saka and Havertz did work well together, I thought. Nick, any thoughts on the Goons?
Yeah, look, I mean, Saka was given far too much space for that first goal. Just enough time to do it. Great header. And look, I think the journalists and the pundits all went a little bit Tottenham on Saka's goal and started saying how Messi-esque it was. It was a good goal. Not get carried away and start comparing him to Messi, because he is absolutely nowhere, not even fit to lace his boots. So
I mean, most of his goals come like that, Nick.
Yeah, I know, and that's what I mean. So I don't understand why all of a sudden we're gassing. But look, that's what they do. That's what the media does, and we'll just let them get on with it. But look, I thought it was again very professional performance. I think Dan Potts said it. He's pleased with the 3 points. And that's kind of all that matters. And ultimately it is. I mean, no one's going to sit there in a game at the start of the season. You don't know what's going to happen. I mean, when we come to some of the other results, some of them are crazy, right? So you're going to get that at the start of the season while everyone's finding their feet. But yeah, look, professional win. And I don't. Raya made a couple of good saves as well. So look, Wolves had chances, but it just goes to show if you don't take your chances and you're not clinical enough, then you're going to get punished, and that's exactly what happened.
Yep. Chang, any thoughts on Arsenal's win?
Well, Arsenal were good for the win, but I thought for their opener, I think it was 23rd, 24th minute, I think. The cross by Saka was flapped by the Wolves Portuguese goalkeeper Jose Sa. He didn't get the ball, he didn't get the man, he didn't take Kai Havertz out. He just flapped at it, and it just presented Kai Havertz with an easy enough header that he fortunately got on target, and that gave them their opening goal. And since the opening goal, I think it was pretty much one-way traffic, although Hwang Hee-chan was his own lively self, and Wolves were quite unlucky to score from some point-blank shots that were saved rather well by David Raya. And when the second goal went in, this time by Saka from provider, turning scorer, I think the game was pretty much wrapped up before the 80th minute. And I mean, Arsenal are just doing what Liverpool and City and United do, which is to win at all costs, regardless of how bad the opposition are playing, regardless of the opposition too as well. And for Wolves, I think it's going to be a struggle for them this season, especially with talks that we might even be in for one of the midfielders. I think João Gomez, if there is even any truth that we're in for him, João Gomez of Wolverhampton Wanderers. But Arsenal look good for the win. Wolves, I think, might struggle this season, and I think it's still a bit too early to say for certain how Arsenal will fare this season. But if this match is anything to go by, I think they will be winning games by the scruff of the neck, or by hook or by crook.
Yeah, well, it used to be 1-0 to the Arsenal, didn't it? They were always known for scraping their way through. But Jim predicted 2-1, gets a point. Nick predicted 4-0, gets a point. I predicted 3-0, gets a point. Chang predicted 2-0, gets the 3 points. Chang with the first correct score of the day. Well done to you. I'm not going to go through every single game in massive depth, mainly because I don't know really what happened. I didn't even watch Match of the Day last night. But Everton started off with a loss, losing 3-0 to Brighton. Anyone got any comments on this game? Because I don't know anything really about what happened apart from bits.
No, I didn't see any of it, Kate. But I was surprised at the score. I thought Everton might give them a bit of a game at home, but obviously not.
Yeah, and I was the one who said that it was going to be a really boring 1-1 draw, as did Nick, actually. None of us at all predicted Brighton to win. Not a single one of us. So I think we all thought Everton would get something, albeit a draw. But, I think they're going to struggle this season. Everton. I was surprised. I didn't expect Brighton to smash them quite that easily. Different season, same old Everton, says Yusuf. Go on, Chang.
I would like to say something very quickly in Everton's defense, if I may, Ms. Kate, and that would be the sending off of Ashley Young and also Mitoma for Brighton, who I thought looked very...
Is he froze? Or he's thinking of the words? No, he's froze.
Put what you think in the comments. What Chang was about to say about Mitoma.
I thought he looked very.
Mitoma looked very ... Let's see what you say.
Oh, what did I lag out? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You froze exactly when you said. I thought Mitoma looked very, and we don't know what he looked very of.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so he looked sharp, and he was up for it, and he was good for the opening goal. And it was also his run of the ball that led to Ashley Young's red card in the second half. And when Ashley Young gets sent off and Everton are down to 10 men, Sean Dyche being Sean Dyche, he doesn't have a plan B. It's almost like Big Ange only, in the blue half of Merseyside. So, that's why Everton got pasted the way they did.
Do you know
what did Yusuf say? He's put Ashley Young playing in 2024.
What did I say to you? I went, oh my God, Ashley Young's been sent off. When are people going to stop giving this guy a professional contract?
Well, I thought that was his age.
What?
2024.
He is such a liability for any team. Back in the day, he was a good player, but now he just gets sent off no matter where he plays. He's just, I'm just baffled that anybody would give him a contract. Let's just finish that bit in there. But none of us got any points for that game. We was all completely off it, saying it was going to be a draw. Newcastle 1, Southampton 0. Obviously, there was an early red card in this as well for Fabian Schär. Yeah, stupid headbutting the guy. I thought Newcastle might go on to lose this, but they still managed to win 1-0.
Southampton played well.
There you go, crack on. You tell me any thoughts on the game. I'm open to listening.
I watched some of the game. What I saw, it was all Southampton. They just couldn't put the ball in the net. So to me, they deserved the draw out of it. But
I mean, Yusuf says they were unlucky not to get at least a point. I think it's a case of cream rising to the top when you've got the likes of Isak in your team, and maybe that was the difference. Like I say, I didn't watch any of it. I just was looking at the scores and saw obviously that they scored. But any other comments on it?
Yeah, I mean, I get why Fabian Schär was sent off, but Brereton is an absolute disgrace, rolling around like he'd been proper headbutted.
Yeah,
he made the movement. If he didn't make the movement, but to do that in this day and age is an absolute disgrace. And thankfully, he didn't score that chance that he had. Unfortunately, you just can't do it. You just can't. You can't. Footballers just need to stop, And if I see Maddison doing this tonight, I'm going to go absolutely mad with him rolling on the floor. Just get up and stop being an absolute melt.
You heard it here first.
And you'll hear me. You'll probably hear me on the TV tonight Get up, Madison, you melt. There might be a few other words inserted there, but
Jimbo predicted 3-1 to Newcastle. Chang 2-0. Me 4-0. Nick 3-1. So we all got a point, but none of us got the score. As I say, I thought at one point Southampton were going to get something out of the game because it was such an early sending off. But yeah, Newcastle held on. Big up, Leo. Hope you and the family are well. Just a harmless potatoes here as well. Big up to you. Yeah, Nick, they're saying facts, Nick. People rolling around like absolute cretins. Literally got nothing to say about this next game. So if anyone's got anything to say, take it away. But Forest won, Bournemouth won.
Yeah, Bournemouth cost me 4 points in my FPL because they conceded a goal. That's all I can say about it. All I can say about it. I made a last-minute decision. I do what I always do. Last-minute panic. I changed Salah to captain instead of Saka to captain instead of Salah, and Salah would have got me 4 more points. I had a Nana in goal and I put Sells in goal, and I lost 3 points. So I could have had 8 more points from those because I rushed it right at the end. So for people, do not rush and make last-minute decisions. Trust your instinct.
I forgot to take Rodri out, and I had Wissa on the bench not playing, and he bloody scored.
What position was he on the bench, Kate? Was he first?
I don't know. Does that make a difference?
Yes, because if you didn't take Rodri out, he didn't play. So you're not whoever was first sub will come in to replace.
He wasn't first. He was third.
Well, then you're in the mud. You mudded yourself, Kate. Go and have a bath of mud for that.
Oh, lovely. Apparently makes
if your players don't play, whoever you've got 1, 2, and 3 will then come in.
I never knew that. No one's ever told me that.
Well, you know now, so you don't have to mud yourself next.
If you're going to play a game, Kate, you should read the rules.
Exactly.
Oh, I can't be bothered to read the rules.
I am at the moment. Obviously, I know a lot of people have got Spurs players tonight, so I've kind of got this double-edged wanting to let Spurs to do well, because at the moment I'm top in four of the 6 leagues that I'm in, but I could not be top because obviously most people have got either Porro and Son or Porro and Solanke. So Mickey van der Ven, James Maddison, step up and score tonight, and Spurs concede a couple of goals so Porro doesn't get any points.
I've only got you doggy in my fantasy team from Spurs. He's the only one.
So yeah, there we go. So that's what we want to happen tonight. So Nick stays top after game week 1. I'll dine off that for the next 37 game weeks.
Jimbo predicted 2-1 to Forest for this. I predicted a boring 0-0, but Nick and Chang both predicted 1-1, so 3 points each. So Jimbo, we're getting left behind in our own game.
Well done, mate. Well done. High five for me and Chang here.
Simon Cohen is saying, Nick, you look a lot trimmer, you male model. He does look very slim.
I've had a swim this morning, so we're ready. Some steps later, some healthy choice on the way up.
Steps? Do you mean the group, or are you actually going to be walking?
I'm going to be walking, aren't I, Kate?
I think,
like away game, I think normally at the football, normally it's about 4,000 to 5,000 steps I do. So
yeah, when we see you on Saturday, Nick, I won't know who you are. You'll be slim.
Well, Kate, you will, because there'll be people asking me for my photo, won't there? So you just have to join the queue, won't you?
I'll be like, who's that slim man over there? Bloody hell, it's Nick. There we go. What can I say? So the next game, we will go on to Skippy. I haven't purposely ignored it. West Ham have won the transfer window, yet still managed to lose at home to Aston Villa. Jimbo, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I was never worried about West Ham. I always watched all these people saying they're going to do this, that, and the other. West Ham are West Ham, and they're right, David. They're finished where they normally finish between 10th and 6th, and that'd be West Ham. That's where they always finish. So yeah, I was never worried, and I wasn't surprised Villa beat on their day. Villa are a good team, aren't they? So
yeah.
I was glad Villa won for Frankie. So
yeah, of course. I mean, to be fair, it was quite evenly matched, but obviously Villa did enough to win it. Sorry, before we go on to Villa, let me cover that as well. I forgot to write that. Anybody saw the tackle with Danilo, where he broke his leg? I don't know if anyone's seen it. I've seen it. I wasn't watching it live. I saw the video.
Awkwardly. I don't know if it was a tackle. He land
no,
awkwardly.
that's what I mean. Yeah, they jumped together and then he landed and his leg literally bent the wrong way. I mean, it was horrendous.
I saw it once and I don't want to see it again.
I don't know whether it's a career-threatening injury. Obviously, a broken leg's never good, but I don't know how bad it is. I don't know if there's been any update. Not that I've seen. It just says horror injury.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if we see him this side of March. If at all, I would say, looking at it,
which is horrendous.
And it is normally, you know what? It is normally the inconspicuous things that happen that you do it because your body's all relaxed and you're not expect, if you just jump up and you expect to land, you don't expect for something to happen, So those are the times when things can normally go, all right, I get it. If someone comes flying in and the foot's planted and the guy goes there, then obviously it's going to do it. But, if you see, most of the injuries, either the stud gets caught and it twists or they land awkwardly. That's when most of the stuff happens because you're not, your body's at the most relaxed and it just seems to not, I guess doesn't, whatever happens, it's weird. But look, I think he's got rather than us breaking a leg compared to him breaking a leg, he's going to have obviously all the, the medical teams and everything around him to get him back as soon as possible. So look, you never know. But I'd be surprised if we saw him this season. But, I guess it depends. If it's a clean break, it could be 6 months. If it's
apparently he snapped his ankle. It's his ankle that's broken.
Do you know what, Kate? Joey Barton's just put, had the flag gone up for offside, the game would have stopped and it would never have happened. Just saying. And do you know what? He's so right. Because in the Chelsea game last night, someone chipped over the top, and I think it was Jackson was offside, and they let the game go on for a good 30 seconds to a minute, right? And then when Chelsea lost the ball, they called offside. And it was absolutely ridiculous because anything could have happened in that minute. They was all fighting in the box for the ball. And, I don't understand this. Don't put the flag up till that phase of play's finished. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, and look now, that guy's got a broken leg and it was a broken ankle. And if it was offside, which it looks like it was, then it wouldn't have happened. And that Chelsea game, I could not believe because I was watching my brother-in-law and he's a Chelsea supporter, and I said to him, if you score, it's going to be offside. And it's ridiculous because they were all fighting for the ball in the box. It only takes a missed kick or a slip.
It went on for a good 3-4 minutes, and Pep actually went over to the ref and said something could have happened there, and it was offside anyway. It's ridiculous. I agree with Pep.
Yeah, you go back to that Liverpool goal from Diaz. You could see the moment that was played through. We could see it on the TV that was offside, and how it then took them so long and all that nonsense. It's just. I
said to my brother-in-law, Nick, that's offside. If you score, it's not going to count.
Yeah, the officiating is terrible. But, I mean, they're saying 6 to 8 weeks. I think they're being very, very optimistic with a broken ankle. But big up Rodders saying, Nick, where's your AC Milan top?
It's on the way. It's on the way. I'm not buying it. Iggy's buying it.
Wow.
That was the deal. So it's on the way. And it's the away shirt. So it's probably got the same amount of red that the Tottenham home shirt's got on. But as soon as I have it, I will be wearing it to White Hart Lane. Don't you worry about
that. Yeah, exactly, Joey. Van der Ven running back to make a tackle and pulling his hamstring for an offside. Yeah, that's we was only talking about this the other day. I don't know when the automated offside's coming in. I thought it was meant to be coming in this season, but I don't know what's going on. But the level of officiating in this country is a absolute disgrace. But Chang, any thoughts on West Ham Villa?
I thought Villa were good for the win even before the penalty for West Ham. This was, I think, the late kickoff on Saturday night, I think, or Saturday evening. So, unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch this, but I did watch some of the highlights on the Sunday morning replay of Match of the Day. What can I say? I think West Ham are going to struggle this season. And as for Aston Villa, I think they were definitely good for the win, and you could see how much the win meant for Unai Emery at full time. Yeah, I think the likes of Ollie Watkins, Yuri Tillemans, even Pau Torres, Emilio Martinez too for Aston Villa, they're going to have a good season ahead for them. As for West Ham United, well, I think Lopetegui, however you pronounce his name, is going to have a lot to do for West Ham if they are to even stay in the top half of the table come the end of the season. And yeah, I think Aston Villa should be in and about the race for top four with us again this season. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how we match up against them when we play them home and away later this season.
Yeah, Nick's just sent me the info saying that it is coming in this season, but the cameras haven't been installed in the ground, so they will not be in use for the first few weeks. It's going to be around October time because Revanite, big up to you, says the first international break it will come in. So
yeah,
the sooner
first or second, so September, October. But it's ridiculous. why bring it in? 6-7 weeks into the season? It's stupid. They should have. You're telling me that they've agreed it, and there's all this money, and they can't get it ready for the start of the season. Come
on. George says Villa top four. I don't see them getting top four this year. I think they're going to drop off a little bit once Europe starts. But we'll see. I might be completely wrong. Revenite says, I think it's because we use different footballs to the ones FIFA use, so they need time to tailor it. David says Mr. Perriman spoke a lot of sense on his piece. Yeah, Jim and I listened to that yesterday or the day before. And yeah, Chrysandro, who knows what they were doing? Probably
that's what I mean. But that goes back to what we were talking about the other day with the different rules for the squads and the different balls and different. It's one game of football. Come on, we're not talking. You're not playing with a watermelon in one league and an orange in another and something else in somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? I think it's just nonsense.
Yep. 1-2. So Jimbo predicted 2-2. Chang again with the correct score of 2-1.
Chang, you are banned, mate. I don't like this. He's surging ahead.
He's got another 3-pointer. I said 3-2 to West Ham, so got nothing. And Nick got a point for saying 3-2 to Villa. But yeah, Chang, that's 3 correct scores so far. I demand a recount and a drugs test immediately. There's something very suspicious going on here. I think he's friends with Ivan Toney, just saying. Brentford 2, Palace 1. The 2 players from Brentford I desperately would love in our team. Mbuemo and Wissa. Was it Wissa? Wissa. Both scoring the Brentford goals. Jim, are you surprised Brentford won? Was you expecting more of a battle?
No, not at all. No, I'm not surprised they won. They're a good team. They're a good, strong team at home. They're not so good away, but they're good at home. And Palace are good at home and not so good away. So it didn't surprise me. I think I said a draw, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought first game of the season it'd be a draw.
Was you surprised that Toney was left out of the team? Does that tell
us? No, not
at all.
Not at all, Kate, because I think there's going to be a lot of teams interested in him, and it's just we haven't heard about it yet. So it didn't surprise me they're not taking chances with him. So I don't think he'll be coming to Tottenham now, but maybe United.
Apparently, United have stepped away from him. Right. Something to do with his attitude. This is the rumour, and that he's possibly going to Saudi. Don't know how true it is, but that was the latest news this morning.
Can I just say, when talking about attitudes, I listened to Ange this morning and they asked him about Spence. And he said that he's got no attitude problems whatsoever. He's been training well. He's deserved his spot in the squad, and he's very, very popular amongst the other players. So he looks like he said he's cleaned his act up. That's what he said. So it looks like we might have a good season with Spence.
I don't know what happened with this. That referee decision for
Eze scored direct from a free kick, but the ref blew for an infringement in the box. So the goal was fantastic. It was from about 35 yards out on the right hand side, and he curled it in round the wall. And then the ref blew, and then after the game said to Eze, "Sorry, I shouldn't have blown so early." So we go from one extreme to the other. Blowing too early for that decision, and a goal's disallowed. Blowing too late, and a guy breaks his ankle. So cost me points as well, just to harm this potato. And back to Kate's point. Oh, I want Worcester at Spurs. You don't want him that much because he's not in your FPL team. So there you go.
Well, he was, but he was on the bench.
He wasn't in your team.
He's in the squad. The squad's the most important thing.
Rodri's not playing. Oh, just leave him in.
Shemtan says he doesn't believe anything Ange says anymore. Wow. Poor Ange. He's
got no reason to lie about that, has he? If he wasn't, if he had a bad attitude and weren't doing well, he would have just used a different phrase, wouldn't he? So.
Yeah. Jimbo predicted a draw 1-1, Chang 2-2. I predicted 2-1. What was the score? Oh, I predicted 2-1 to bloody Palace, and Nick predicted 2-0 Palace. So we all got nil point in that one. Not even Chang, with his cheating allegations hanging over his head, got any points on that one at all, which is a bit rubbish. But what a disappointment this game was. I was so looking forward to watching this, and it was 90 minutes of my life I'm never getting back. I thought it was so boring. Whether it's a case of, well, I don't know what it was a case of, but Nick, did you watch it?
No, it was. I was watching the 100. I wasn't interested in watching that game. So yeah, look, I think it's funny, right? The only thing I'll say is, and I saw it today, is Cucurella trying to give it beans about Haaland, and then Haaland just absolutely just smashed through that defence and scored. So look, I think, look, again, it could have been a banana skin, but look, I'm sorry. Gary Neville summed it up pretty well yesterday. Enzo running around, trying to press, throwing his arms in the air. You're not kidding anyone, mate. You are probably the worst. People talk about Emerson Royale being the worst footballer on this planet. Enzo, for me, is far worse, and he's their captain as well. An absolute disgrace. Yeah,
I mean, I just thought Chelsea looked like they did at the start of last season, a bunch of players, but not a team. They just got destroyed. Chang, did you see any of the game?
I didn't watch the match late last night because I was fast asleep, but I did manage to listen to some of the TalkSport commentary in bits and pieces on the drive back up from my hometown this morning on the way to work. And I think, Chelsea were all over the place. And if it wasn't for, I think, City not really firing on all cylinders, I think the score could have been a lot worse for them. Haaland, I think, had quite an easy goal. Well, it wasn't easy. I mean, he still had to get past Cucurella and ding the ball over Sanchez. But I think it was a good win for City. And I think the second goal that they scored, courtesy of a giveaway by the Chelsea backline that fell quite fortuitously for Kovacic, who then just waltzed right into the penalty box and got a very good goal. There was an element of fortune to it because it came off the upright, but him scoring from a Chelsea era, trying to play out the back even when they were losing at home, I think pretty much summed up Chelsea for me. And if they don't, get their act together soon, if they don't, start getting Nicholas Jackson firing, because from what I gathered, I think he was culpable. I think for the offside, they were able to put the ball in the back of the net. Don't get me wrong, Chelsea. But from what I heard, I think he was in the offside position when they equalized before halftime. And even prior to that, he had a few good chances to break away, but he was just seen like waltzing around, not really having any sense of urgency to get his team back level after they were packed back. So yeah, Chelsea might struggle this season, but it's only the first game of the season, and let's just see what their new manager can do for them after having taken over from Poch.
Yeah, I look at Chelsea and I think if they had Poch there, they would be a far better and settled team than they look at the minute. Jim, any thoughts on the game? We watched it.
Yeah, we watched it. It wasn't. We weren't. Didn't pull up any trees, did it? But at the end of the day, Man City did what they had to do, and it was only ever going to go one way. It was just depending on who got the score right. So, but yeah, I mean Chelsea. I saw someone put, don't write them off. They're just in a shambles at the minute, and they have been for the last few seasons. And
Yeah.
I just think this owner hasn't got a clue what he's doing. Buying players left, right, and centre. Didn't he learn from last season? Buying 500 players don't make it work. It just makes it harder because you've got players there that want to play that are never going to get a chance. So I mean, I don't know what they say to them when they sign them, because obviously the manager talks to them. Well, I would imagine he does, and they must be promised game time, or I don't know. Okay, I don't know how it works when they're signing players like that. It's mind-boggling to me. You sign all these players and you can only have 11 on the pitch. It's just, I'd rather do it the way we're doing it than the way they're doing it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Action Jackson, they call him. I don't think he's anywhere near good enough for Chelsea. But even Man City, they didn't look brilliant, but they just know how to win, and they just swept Chelsea aside, and they're just different gravy. But it is early days. It's only the first game, but yeah, Chelsea looked a little bit shambolic for me.
I mean, Revenant's they got 43 players in their squad. I mean, how do you keep 43 players happy? I mean, you can't, can you? Because I mean, how many is it? 28 you have to name, 27 or 28?
26, isn't it?
Is it 26?
Yeah.
So that's what, 17 players that are going to be left out. It's like, well, I don't know what they say to them when they have the meetings to sign them. I don't get it. I don't get how that can work. It just don't. And last season they did the same thing, and it didn't work, did it? So I mean, I don't. Yeah, but I'm just playing
25, man.
I mean, it's just mind-boggling the way they work.
That Man City fan sign saying 115 charges versus 150 players.
Yeah, I saw that.
They do still have Lukaku. They're trying to work him into the deal with Osherman, I believe. But on this game, you all pick City to win. I picked Chelsea, so you all got a point. And as it stands at the moment, before the Spurs game tonight, Jimbo's in 4th place with 4 points. I'm in 3rd place with 5 points. Nick's in 2nd place with 9 points, and Chang is flying high with 13 points. I demand a drugs test immediately.
For both of us?
Yeah, for both of you.
I'm shocked as well, because I was like, I can't remember what I predicted, like 9 points or that. Hey, you have some of that.
I know. But what they say to him is, here, it's 20 grand, 200 grand a week. Just sit there and do what you want. Yeah. You could well be right. Villa asked me something. Who is he? Villa, James F. Big up Villa. Says, what did you make of the pen against Villa? In my opinion, it was not a penalty. Cash won the ball. Now, I haven't seen it, but if Matty Cash was involved, I'm saying it probably was a penalty. Has anyone seen it?
Yeah, it come off his stud, and then it was just to come in together. It wasn't a penalty for me.
It wasn't a penalty.
Oh, okay. Okay, there you go. They agree.
I saw one of these pundits say it was a penalty, but it was soft. No, it wasn't a penalty. It was ridiculous.
Big up Bobby K. Good to see you.
If they're going to give penalties like that this season, there's going to be a lot of penalties. I tell you that now.
What I will say about the Chelsea game as well is at half time, I don't know if anyone else noticed, but their fans booed them off the pitch. First game of the season, they got booed off the pitch. It doesn't sound like Maresca is going to be there long, in my opinion. Benny's saying it was a pen. I haven't seen it. Revenant's saying it wasn't a pen. remember, we are FFP champions. Yes, we are. Skippy has skipped off at long last. £25 million ish to Leicester. I like Skipp. I think he was a better player than Højbjerg for a lot of the last couple of seasons. I have to say, I've said it all along. But I think it's a good move for him and an even better move for us. Jim, pause.
Yeah, you know what, Kate? I don't really get sentimental over players. You know that. When Kane left, I said he's gone. Let's move on. But I got a little soft spot for Skipp. I'm glad he's gone because he doesn't fit this system. But if he'd have stayed, I wouldn't have been like gutted, you know. But he wasn't going to get much game time. But I got a real soft spot for him because he's been with Tottenham for so long, and he's give his all. He's every time he went on the pitch, he give his all. You know, sometimes it weren't good enough. Sometimes it was really good, and he's come on and won us games before. But yeah, I got a soft spot for him, so I'm a little bit gutted to see him go. But if this makes sense, I'm glad he's gone because he doesn't fit the system, and it's better for him to go and get some football. But I'm a little bit gutted in another sense, if you understand what I mean. Nice kid, give everything for Tottenham, has been with us for years and years.
Yeah, but I think it's a good move.
Yeah, it's a good move all round. Yeah.
Nick, how do you feel about Skippy buggering off?
Well, I feel sorry for Leicester fans having Winks and Skipp in their midfield. So yeah, lucky Leicester. Look, I think again we mentioned. I think we spoke about the other day when we were talking about timing and everything happened. You know, when he came back from Norwich, he had those horrendous injuries, and then I think timing just didn't really go with him. I mean, look, if he'd stayed fit, then we'd probably be talking about Skipp now as potentially, and a lot of people said it. A future, I think I said it, a future Spurs captain, but timing and everything else went against him. And look, nearly 25 million, great bit of business to do that. And look, we wish him well. But I don't know if Leicester will be getting out of their half anytime soon. If the ball goes between those two, they'll just play pass the parcel to each other, won't they, on the halfway line? So.
I think Nick's 100% right there. His injuries, is what set him back with us. But I always have a special place when he comes back here, get a standing ovation and get cheered.
Yeah, I mean, Chang, although I understand the sentimentality, and it was the same with Winks, really. When he left, he'd been here for years and years, but I still think it's a good move. But do you know what? I can't even remember what I was going to say. I've gone off on such a tangent. I've completely forgot what I was going to say. Oh, are you glad this window, it's come back to me, that we've managed to actually get rid of some of these players? We've all been crying out for us to get rid of some of these players, and we've had quite a few go out the door this window.
There are players who deserve to go a lot sooner, but they are still at the club. There are some players who deserve to, at the very least, be a bit part player, even if it means just being a backup, a bench warmer, or maybe in Oliver Skipp's case, a squad player. But he will always be one of us. That goal against Chelsea, which was, I think, the last win under Conte before he was sacked early last year against Chelsea. That was a very well taken goal by Winks. And to say that he wasn't up to scratch, or he didn't have it in him to be a good player at Spurs, I think might be somewhat unfair given how limited game time he had. But in the few appearances that I saw him play for us, he was always one of those few players who always gave his all, regardless of the position, regardless of the game, regardless of the occasion. And he will always be remembered as one of us. But unfortunately for him, he will join the ranks of Ryan Mason and Harry Winks as midfielders that didn't really make the grade for us. And I think he would do well for Leicester, but maybe that's his level. That is these are only the only clubs that would allow him game time regularly. Miss Amelia Barrow, how are you?
Can we get Queen
By the way,
Amelia's
I just need to quickly say, awesome episode of oh my goodness, what
Queries
was
and theories.
Queries
Queries and Theories? Yes, the one, Queries and Theories. I was listening to the whole way on the way back. There was so much which I wanted to comment just on the theories about aliens and ancient civilizations and things from that last week. But the next time you ever do another episode with your aunts, I would definitely be watching live and commenting as well. So I really am looking forward to the next episode, if and when that happens, and carry on doing what you're doing with your aunt.
Oh, thank you. I said to her, they want to get your opinion on Skipp. She went, who's Skipp? That's Amelia's opinion. Who is Skipp?
Skip has just skipped town.
When you picked the mic up, I thought you was going to sing a song.
Yeah,
I
Amelia's view is
thought Amelia's first question was being, instead of good or bad, is he fit? I think that was.
no. She said he's shit. That's what she said. So
I
you can't argue with that.
I thought she was going to say, is he fit?
I was looking for a panelist, and no, he's not fit. On a show the other day, and Amelia said, "I'll do it," and I said, "Yeah, but you don't know anything about football." She went, "Yeah, but it'll be funny." Her judgment of a player is, are they fit? AKA Jack Grealish is lovely. So yeah, no, Skip's not one of them. But yeah, so look, at the end of the day, is another one gone. Rinketic said he is quite fit. Well, whatever floats your boat, Rinketic. He don't do anything for me.
I'll have a Google him.
Yeah, you'll have to Google him. He definitely
Don't
doesn't
waste
do
your
anything.
time, Amelia. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, look,
Don't waste your time.
he's not fit, is this? He's got a funny forehead, I think. Funny
Forehead?
forehead.
Yeah.
Oh, what's a forehead?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what it is.
Joey just said he wants Davis to be out next. Anyone else? I mean, I want Reguilon and Lo Celso to go. If we get rid of Davis, I worry that I don't know. I mean, Jim, is there anyone you want to get out before the end of the window?
Kelso. Yeah, get him gone.
Fair enough. Nick, is there one player you want out for the end of the window?
Lo Celso.
Lo Celso. Chang?
I wouldn't really say I would like him to leave, but if we can get a replacement for him, the sooner the better. And this player is actually Fraser Forster. Hard as sound as may be, I honestly feel the earlier we get a replacement backup goalkeeper, the better for us. And I'm not sure how much game time Fraser Forster is going to get this season. But if we are serious about fielding a competitive squad in the Europa League, and if Vicario himself isn't up for doing Thursday nights and then Sunday nights, or another round of Monday Night Football, then maybe just maybe we should try to get in another backup goalkeeper before the end of the transfer window, or at the very least maybe by January, before Fraser Forster's contract expires. That is maybe the one position which I feel needs not an immediate replacement, but at the very least a good backup or a replacement lineup for Fraser Forster.
Yeah. Paul G says Enzo cost Chelsea 125 mil. Would you rather one Enzo or 5 Skippies? Jimbo?
5 Skippies.
Nick?
5 Skippies, yeah.
Chang? 1 Enzo or 5 Skips?
5 Skips for me.
Yeah,
I'll go for the 5 Skips, because those 5 Skips are going to give 110%.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think Enzo is just, whatever possessed them to pay £125 million for him, I have no clue. Wasn't it Skipp who Conte said will be the next captain, or was it Jose? I think it was Conte, but I'm not 100% sure. Rinketic said he'd pick Enzo. Wow. And the other question I had before we go on to the game tonight was, I've deleted it, I think. No, I haven't. It's here. GBC fan says, do we have the minerals to win the Europa League? Go on, Jim.
Of course we do. What are you talking about? It's as good as ours. We'll be lifting it in a few months.
GBC, I'll have to have a look at the video I did if you haven't watched it, of all the different YouTubers, Chang, Nick, Jim, Benny, Egal, loads of different YouTubers gave their opinion on the Europa League. I mean, I think I put us down to win the Carabao Cup, but the more I think of it, the more I think we've got a chance with Europa League, because the level of team in there, obviously you've got Man United, you've got Roma, but I do think we could do something special in the Europa League. Nick, am I being delusional, or have we got the minerals to win it?
Well, I said I didn't know. My prediction was that we were going to win it. So that's because I didn't know who was in it. But we're going to have a proper meltdown because the draw and the closing of the transfer windows on the same day. So in the morning, we'll have the draw, and in the evening, the transfer window closes. So all on the same day.
There we go. And Chang, do you think we've got the ability to win the Europa League?
That's what I'm hoping at the very least, or that's what I would like us to win this season. If we do only win one cup or trophy this season, rather than it being the domestic cups, I would rather we win the Europa League and forego the League Cup and the FA Cup. That was my bold prediction anyway from last week, which thank you very much, Miss Kate. I watched the show, what do you call this, the summary show where all these YouTubers gave their predictions. So thank you very much for airing that for me. Yeah, that is the one cup which I would really love to see us win this season over the domestic cups.
Yeah, I hear Joey saying Leicester's got no strikers, but that anyone in any position can score versus us. So this has a draw written all over it. That was my prediction. I watched the Irish Hotspur yesterday. He did all the channel predictions. I was the only one who didn't predict us to win, but I still think it's going to be a 2-2 draw. Jim, are you excited about the game? Is there anyone you're looking forward to seeing, particularly tonight?
Yeah, I'm hoping Solanke and Bergville start. I'd love to see them two in the team. I think Gray here, bring Gray on as a sub. I think he might start them too. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. First game, of course I am. Looking forward to seeing all of them. But it'd be nice to see Solanke and Bergville in the team. And Spencer be on the bench, I would imagine, and might come on depending on the score. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. A nice 4-0.
A nice, comfortable 4-0. I always think of Leicester as one of our bogey teams. I'm not going to lie. Nick, obviously you're going to the game and you are the kiss of death.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about it? Anything you're worried about? Or, well, obviously set pieces, but...
Yeah, look, I said 3-1. I think we'll concede, even though Leicester have got one fit striker and Winks in midfield. But I still think that we've got enough. It'll be a shame if Kulu's done all this good work and he gets moved... It gets moved onto the right-hand side because I think he should carry on playing. He should be playing in that middle. But I guess we'll see what happens at whatever the time. It's 65 minutes or 75 minutes or whatever it is before kickoff. The doggy's fit to start, so the defence and Vicario that'll we all know what that'll be. And I think it'll be Son, Solanke. I'd say Johnson, but then if Kulu doesn't deserve to be dropped, and then you'll have Maddison, Bentancur, Bergvall maybe, or Sami. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But Wilson won't play. His work permit's not back in time, even though he was playing for Burnley. So I don't really understand the
No, nor do I. That's bonkers. Anthony, I don't do watch-alongs. I would be cancelled immediately if my language ever got on the screen during a watch-along. Chang, are you looking forward to the game? Are you nervous? Are you excited? How are you feeling?
I am looking forward to the match tonight. I've already promised Mr. Colin Sievers a watch-along over on Talk and Ball. And just as you will be doing a pre-match pump-up with Mr. Jacob Walraven over on We Are Tottenham TV, I will be doing the halftime and a full-time review with him over on United Spurs of America early tomorrow morning on the Tuesday morning. So yes, I am very much looking forward to that match. And although, yeah, Leicester have their injury problems, they are missing players, and we have our own missing player or two here and there. The latest news I read earlier from David Ornstein is that our latest signing, Wilson Oderbear, or that's however you pronounce his name. I'm just going to call him Oderbear. He hasn't been registered on time due to his work permit, so he won't be eligible for the match. But I think we have more than enough players to make up the numbers and properly give Leicester a run for the money. I'm still expecting us to nick all 3 points, although don't be surprised if we are the ones who concede first and then we come back with the 2 goals to grab all 3 points. And I was also looking back at those Steven Bergwijn goals from 2 years back. Those were some great memories. But I think it's going to be very similar. We're going to dominate. We're going to create most of the chances. We're going to fail to score. Either Solanke hasn't really gelled or gotten to grips with the Ange ball system under Big Ange, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the likes of Son Heung-min, James Maddison, hopefully though, if he does feature for us against his former employers, he would finally come good for us this half of the calendar year. And looking forward to the likes of Bergvall or Archie Gray, even Jet Spence, if he does feature, for them to, properly get into gear and give us a good season to look forward to.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if I'll go on the match reaction. It depends how I feel after the game. It's late as well, and I am tired.
Late. I'm still going to be driving at stupid o'clock in the morning, so...
Yeah, but you'll nick the driver. That's what you do.
Make it worth my while, Tottenham Hotspur. I'm sick and tired of driving back in silence.
But as Chang mentioned, I am doing the pre-match pump-up. So is Jimbo with Jacob, and I think Ashmatic. We're all doing it on We Are Tottenham TV tonight from 6:30. And then over here, you can find the watch-along with Talking Ball with Chang as well. Anthony says, come on, people, I want to see your faces when you lose. It's not very nice. I need a Solanke hat-trick for my fantasy Premier League. I didn't put Solanke in my team yet. I need to see what he can do first. Just saying, I am the nickname king. Why? Who have you nicknamed, Ben? Jimbo, obviously it's Maddison's first game against Leicester since he transferred to us after they went down.
Yeah.
It's going to be the game where we go, that's what we want to see from Maddison. He's back.
Well, we know what he can do because he's done it for a good few games last season. He just got injured and then went off the boil. So I'm expecting a strong season from him this year. So, and let it start tonight against his old club.
I'm going to put my neck on the line.
I hope he scores. I hope he celebrates.
I'm going to put my neck on the line and say tonight he is going to have a fantastic game. Nick is looking worried now I've said that. Nick, are you saying that you think he's going to be the same old Maddison that we've seen recently?
Yes. Recently, we haven't seen Maddison since 2023, have we?
You are too negative, Nick. You are a negative Nancy.
You're the problem.
I think he's going to start well. Joey, you're right. He only ever has a good third of the season, and I think he's going to start tonight like a steam train against his old team, and then probably by November, December, he'll fall off and be crap again. But that's my prediction. But I'm hoping Maddis doesn't get a full game. I'm hoping that we get to see Bergvall instead, because I think Bergvall has definitely earned his place, whether he starts and it switches or he doesn't start but comes on. Big up Vindaloo. Congrats on Arsenal's first win of the season. Does anyone know if Udoggy's back tonight? Because he's obviously, is he fully fit?
Yeah, obviously Kate doesn't listen to what I said about 2 minutes ago then, yeah. So.
What did you say?
Don't worry, Kate. You weren't listening, were you? So, and then you asked a stupid question. So if you want a stupid answer, then then I'll give you one. But
Then ask Jim.
yeah.
What did you say? I didn't hear, honestly.
Doggy's
He's in
available.
contention.
So the defence and the goalkeeper will all be what we predicted.
Is that what you said? I didn't even hear you say that.
He's been back.
Unbelievable, Jim.
He's been back in training, Kate, and he's been training really well, right? But he's obviously not up to speed, so I'm not sure if he's going to get picked. But I don't really see who they're going to put there unless they put Van der Ven there and the Dragon in the middle. I don't see what they're going to do. They'll probably pick him, won't they? Unless he's going to do that. So, but he's been doing well in training.
Do you know what, Jim? I'm being serious when I say this. I think there's actually something wrong with my brain.
I've been telling you that for 23 years.
I didn't even hear Nick say anything about Udogie. Not a word. Unless it's just that when Nick talks, I switch off. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
So, Jim, now when you say something, you've got perfect. Well, I told you, Kate. Remember what happened with Nick? You weren't even listening. So there you go, Jim. I've given you a perfect pass.
I'm blaming the menopause. That's what I'm blaming it on, because apparently you can blame everything on that. So that is what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm obviously looking forward to the game. More excited about next week's game against Everton, purely because we're going, which is really selfish, but I cannot wait. I'm so looking forward to going back, sitting in a good seat and meeting up with, I was going to say Big Nick, but I'm going to have to say Skinny Nick at the ground before the game, and Phil P, and I'm sure plenty of other people as well.
No, they don't want to see you now. If you're not going to listen to your guests that you've invited on that give up their time that they don't have in their busy schedule to not even listen to them. Don't come and meet Kate. Don't come and say hello. Just walk past her like she's no one in the street. Go, actually, do you know what? No, don't do that. Come and say hello to Jimbo instead. And then just like look at Kate and then just look her up and down and then just walk on by once you finish chatting to Jimbo.
You'd have to join the queue anyway for to say hello to Nick, obviously, because of the autograph hunters, as you said earlier when I was listening.
Oh, so you listened to some things. Oh, no, because I said autograph. That's what you do. And you're like, who wants one? Where are they?
Side Dancer said, Jimbo to come on against Everton and score the winner. Now that I would pay good money to see. Kate's too famous for us now. It's not me, it's Nick. He got people coming from Australia asking for his autograph or somewhere. Was it Australia?
It was Greece, the first one, and then it was Australia, yeah.
See? I mean, I can't compete with that. I had
one
person
for my autograph, Kate. They just wanted to have a chat because I'm a normal guy, you know, everyday guy just down the street. So
oh my god. But yeah, that's it. That brings us to the end of the show. We did our teams that we fancied on Friday, so I don't need to go through them again. Obviously, Nick, have a safe journey up to Leicester. I hope you don't bring us bad luck, or I will find you and I will slap you.
My phone, don't worry, my phone. I'll be looking at my phone, going, any minute now, it's going to happen. It's gonna happen. So yeah, I'll turn my phone off. But yeah, look, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine tonight. Don't worry about it.
I've got to say, I do agree with you, Chang. I fancy us to go 1-0 down, then go 1-1, and then 2-1 down, and then score and get a 2-2 draw. That's how I see it myself.
You're boring me now.
Jimbo, how many O's do you need?
How many what?
O's in your name, Jimbo.
5.
Mr. Chang, when are you next on? Is it for the watch along tonight?
Yes. So I'm, as I mentioned earlier, I'll be doing a watch along over on Talk and Ball with Mr. Colin Sievers and however many guests he's got lined up for our season opener tonight. And I will also be doing the halftime and full-time analysis and review with Mr. Jacob O'Riven over on United Spurs of America. But apart from tonight, I have nothing else on my agenda for the rest of the week. So I think I'm going to see...
Except Friday.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, I was about to say that. If I have nothing on else for the rest of the week, I would be very much happy to be back on again this coming Friday. Same time, same place to do our next weekend preview, the round 2 of matches. And before I sign off, I would just like to say, come on, you Spurs.
Chang, I do have to warn you that before the prediction show on Friday, I will require a urine sample just to check there's no drugs in your system after that absolute battering that you've given us this first week. It's outrageous.
Someone's in touch. So
we've been pathetic this week, Jimbo. 4 for you and 5 for me. We have combined. We've only equalled Nick's, and we haven't even got close to Chang with our scores combined. It's ridiculous. But Jimbo, when are you on next?
We are Tottenham TV tonight.
Ooh, big time, Jimbo. Yeah, please do come along. It will be a giggle. We've got Jacob there, so you know it's going to be a bit crazy. David Clark says, "Can't wait till this fixture's over. Living in Leicester, my wife and my son go to the game because they're Leicester fans. I can't win either way." Vindaloo saying the jinx is when you say "come on you Spurs," got to be. It's been jinxed long before that. Big up Paul G for being a member for 5 months, Graham for being a member for 6 months, and Shem for being a member for 5 months. Leo will be back to the pub with his homies today. Been a long summer break. Looking forward to seeing that vlog. Make sure you go over, everyone, subscribe to all the lovely channels. And yeah, let's win tonight. And as always, come on you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Easy 4-0 win tonight. And all you others are going to be in the mud.